Welcome to Sandwiches of History. Today we're doing a sandwich from 1908 or 1918, depending on who you ask. It's the French dip sandwich, and the date discrepancy stems from a dispute about who created it. French dip was definitely created in Los Angeles, apparently, but a restaurant named Cole's and a restaurant named Philippe's both claim to have invented it. Both opened in 1908. Philippe's claims to have invented it in 1918, and Cole's a little bit after opening. I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just going to make the sandwich because it sounds delicious. I've never made French dip before, so it should be pretty interesting. It also calls for some toppings like provolone cheese and caramelized onions. I don't have any caramelized onions sitting around, so I'm going to do that first. Please keep in mind, I am not a chef. My knife skills are rubbish. So the recipe I'm using for the caramelized onions is from Cook's Illustrated, and they say to cut pole to pole in 1/4-inch slices. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not crying, you're crying. Okay, now into a non-stick skillet. We add 3/8 of a cup of water, 3/8 teaspoon of salt, and our onions. And I'm doing a half recipe, so this is about 1.5 pounds of onions. And we get that to a boil and cover it and cook it for 10 minutes. Okay, while the onions are steaming away, let's go ahead and make our broth. That is going to become our jus. We've got 4 cups of beef broth, 2 tablespoons of dry sherry, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, or as I like to say, what's this here sauce? And I know some people call it wash your sister sauce, I'm aware. Garlic salt, onion powder, and dried thyme. Give that a whisk. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. Now we have to reduce this down to low. Now we press the onions into the sides and bottom. Let it cook for 30 seconds. Scrape them up, press them down again, and keep doing that for about 15 to 20 minutes. Fun story, yours truly forgot to add oil at the beginning. Yeah, you know, a fundamental of cooking and caramelizing onions. Anyway, they've been going for, I don't know, 40 minutes now. I'm gonna keep going until they get nice and dark and brown, but good lord. Okay, now it's time for the beef, and we have to sear it off. Okay, now that it's brown, we add our jus liquid. Then cook on high pressure for 45 minutes. Okay, to make the sandwich, my understanding is we put beef onto bread, baguette. It's weird, this kind of came out almost like corned beef. We cover that with provolone, and now under the broiler. Okay, let's top that with some poorly caramelized onions. They still taste good, but they're not done properly. Now for the dipping of the French dip. I'm told you can do it all. Dip it once, dip it twice. I'm gonna dip it twice. Okay, let's give this French dip sandwich a go. Between the jus and the meat and the cheese and the caramelized onions, there's so much rich, deep flavor going on. This is wonderful. I am gonna plus it up though. I'm gonna plus it up with some Philippe's mustard. That's right, from the OG, or supposedly OG, place in LA. Sent in by Tristan. Thank you, Tristan. I appreciate it. It's supposed to be a really spicy mustard, so let's go nuts. Okay, let's give this plussed up French dip sandwich a go. That has a kick. Okay, so for this recipe, it called for chuck, and it was kind of weird when I tried to slice into it. You're supposed to be able to slice thinly. Kind of fell apart like a brisket. I'm not sure if that was the right cut, but whatever, it doesn't matter. The original French dip sandwich, big, brothy, beefy, just real deep flavors with the caramelized onions, and the provolone cheese was a nice touch. That was delicious. That easily a 9.5. The thing that sent it over the top, to the 10 zone, is that mustard from Philippe's, because it's got quite a zip and quite a great mustard flavor. Perfect contrast to all the richness that's going on in this sandwich. Unbelievably delicious. It would be interesting, and I'm sure someone's done it, to take pho seasonings from Vietnamese pho soup and do a French dip with that, because that would be like a 20 out of 10. All right, see you tomorrow.